Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Sunday, July the 10th. It's closing day of the Belmont Park meet, and the feature race is race number 8. It's the Saginaw Stakes for New York breds going a one-turn mile and a 16th. Let's take a look at this field. You can scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile devices, and you can play this race and the nice card at Belmont Park on Sunday with your DRF Bets account. Interesting pace dynamic in here. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector. The 4 Listen to Your Heart is stretching out with some speed, but the 5 Market Alert, the 6 There Is a Storm Bruin, those horses have speed as well, and the 2 Daddy Knows also has a little bit of early lick, so this might turn into a jockey's race to determine who's going to get to the front. This pace could wind up being solid, and that would work to the benefit of the number 1 Brooklyn Strong, a horse with a good amount of back class. As a 2-year-old, this horse won the Grade 2 Remsen, and it just seems like he hasn't gotten much better since then. There have been some injury issues. He ran in the Wood Memorial in his seasonal debut, then they ran him in the Kentucky Derby. Maybe it was a bit too much too soon, and it knocked Brooklyn Strong for a loop. His most recent start's a race we're going to take a look at right now. He was shipped down to Gulfstream Park first time for this new trainer, and they dropped him all the way down in for a $35,000 beaten claiming race. He ran better than his prior efforts. He ran third in here. Maybe it's a sign that Brooklyn Strong is beginning to wake up. The distance is no issue for this horse, and if the pace is fast, and if he can remember what he used to be, he fits with these horses. I wonder if he gets lost in the shuffle from a wagering standpoint, even with Pratt aboard. 6-1 on the morning line for Brooklyn Strong. We know he has at least one race in him that makes him very good enough to win this race. Daddy Knows is the 2. Let's watch his last race at Finger Lakes. He was able to finish first in this third level optional claiming for New York breds, but he's going to be disqualified. As you see, he's bobbing and weaving in the stretch. He does have early speed. I'm not sure he has the same quality speed as some of the horses to his outside, and quality is really the key for Daddy Knows in this spot. I'm not really sure if he's a stakes horse at this point in his career. The distance I don't think will be an issue. It'll just be interesting to see how Andre Worry wants to play the break. Maybe he'll just try to go to the lead and slow the pace down. I think that's probably his best chance of winning. 4-1 on the morning line seems a little bit light for Daddy Knows, considering that he does have to step up and face some pretty promising horses, and horses that I think are really ready for stakes competition. The number 3 in here is Gemography, and Gemography showed sprint speed last time out in the race we're going to show you. Now, this is an open $20,000 claimer. He went to the lead. He battled it out. He's going to finish a well-beaten second. He's a pretty cool horse who's been in the exacta 20 of 36 times in his career. He spent most of his career sprinting. He won a stakes race sprinting at Finger Lakes last summer. Maybe these new connections saw something that makes them believe that he'll be more effective stretching out in distance. Now, while he showed speed sprinting last time out, he doesn't need the lead to win. He's probably better as a stalker, and I think those are the tactics that jockey Eric Consell will utilize in this spot. Another horse that must prove his mettle at the distance, and well as stepping back up in class. Listen to Your Heart, the number 4, has a lot of promise for Christophe Clement. His last race, the race we're showing you right now, was his first start off almost a year layoff, and Clement had him ready to go. Second level New York bred allowance. He chased a quick pace from the inside, got to the outside, blew by the leader, who just completely folded up his tent and finished last after setting those fast fractions and kept right on going. The race was validated when the third place finisher came back to win a second level allowance for New York breds with a 91 Beyer speed figure. This horse always had ability as a 2-year-old, and it just seems like he's had some injury issues. He only started twice at 3. He only raced once at 4. That 5-year-old debut we saw looks pretty good, and it's nice to see him back in the races in a stake. He's stretching out for the first time, but he's by a Fleet Alex, and I believe he has enough pedigree on the bottom that should allow him to get this extra added distance. Market Alert is the number 5, and he might be getting some class relief in here. He's been facing some tough open horses in his last 2 races. 2 starts back, he was in against Southern District, a very promising horse in an open second level allowance, and Market Alert ran well that day, up on the lead, finishing 3rd. Last time out, some things worked against him. He broke through the gate before the start. When they reloaded him, he was jazzed up again. He broke out of there, got involved in a pace duel, and was no match for Highly Motivated, who's another pretty talented, high-level allowance horse at this point in his career. Even with all those issues, Market Alert still finished ahead of a horse that came back to win an allowance race at Parks with a 92 Beyer speed figure. I do have some questions about Market Alert going the mile in the 16th, but he fits very well from a class standpoint. Should be right in the thick of things when they turn for home. Does have some competitive Beyer speed figures. 9-5 seems a little bit light on Market Alert, but he's a logical contender on his best day. There is a Storm Bruin, completes this field. Let's take a look at his most recent race. Second level New York bred allowance victory, going a one-turn mile, controlled the pace from the start. Sprints on home, scores an upset at 9-1. Rudy Rodriguez employs Luis Saez, a very aggressive rider who might try to control this race from the outside. If he breaks, he might send this horse right to the front. If he sees that other horses are intent, there is a Storm Bruin might attempt to sit off the pace. Personally, I think he's going to try to make the lead. We have some similar concerns as some of the others as he steps up into the stakes ranks, going a mile and a 16th. I'm not worried about the distance, but I am worried about there's some class concerns as well as the pace dynamic. Before we get to my top selection, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. Saratoga starts next week. You'll get all the info on DRFTV. I'm going to go with the number 4 in here, Listen to Your Heart. I was really taken with his return off the lengthy layoff. I like his tactical speed, and I believe that a mile and a 16th is well within his scope. I do think Brooklyn Strong is going to run a lot better second off the layoff, especially in a race where there could be some pace. Fun race on closing day at Belmont Park. It's the Saginaw. Good luck.